Bespoke Post is a monthly subscription box where you get some items delivered to you every month or every few months. And you can opt in for certain items like knives and survival equipment and stuff for dudes. So I got 3 knives from Bespoke before I canceled, and let me show you why, because I don't think it's quite up to snuff for the monthly charge and the quality of knives that you're given. So the first Bespoke knife I received was the Opinel Colorama Series number 8. Stainless steel everyday carry folding pocket knife with a leather strap and a painted hornbeam handle. So I know there's a big following about this knife, made in the French Alps for over 130 years. I personally prefer the non-painted handle so you can stain it whatever color you want and kind of upkeep it as you would like. But it was a good starter knife and I was hopeful for the knives to come. But then I got whatever this thing is. That's not a knife. This is a knife. This is the Bare Bones Digger. It's touted as not only being a knife, but also being a shovel for digging with some measurements here to measure your depth, a hammer, a saw, a gutter hook here for fish, and just in general, an outdoor tool more so than just a knife. The sheath is massive, mostly fabric with a little bit of leather accent. Bare bones, dig in the dirt, it's good for the soul. Here's my problem with it. Designed in Salt Lake City, Utah. Now I'm from Utah and I don't care where it was designed. This was probably made in China. And they always say engineered, designed in somewhere in America, and then it's made in Asia. If we look at where the hook is, we can see a bunch of imperfections here. This is obviously a stamped blade, not ground down to a really nice finish. I get it, this is kind of a blunt force tool, but the quality is not up to snuff. All my hopes for Bespoke knives were dashed by this little guy. This is from a company called Titan. They do have like a bald eagle on their logo, pretty nicely stitched sheath, but from what I could find online, they say they're made in America, but I did see some instances of it being manufactured in Pakistan. The sheath is great, but when you pull out the knife, that's when we run into some issues. My main problem with this knife is the build quality. The pins are not perfectly round. Here in the handle, the wood does not match up with the tang, so it creates these sharp little edges when you're holding it. So when you're actually using this knife, it's gonna tear up your fingers. You can see the machining is very rough on it, not a lot of fine polishing or finishing work on this. And again, something you see with more stamped blades that aren't ground down quite well enough is there's a lot of inconsistencies and just ugliness in the hook part. Overall, this knife just does not have a nice feel and it feels like cheap crap. I mainly canceled Bespoke because of the knives, but if you're into other survival gear or EDC, it might be great for you. Leave a comment down below if you want to see maybe the indoor fireplaces or bird calls that I've gotten from Bespoke, and maybe that is more interesting than the knives, but I wouldn't recommend a Bespoke subscription based on knives alone. In my next video, I'm going to be talking about multi-tools and why they usually just suck. Subscribe for more EDC content.